welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. I've had a busy day today doing up Postman Matt, selling these hats, sending them out to you lot, hoodies, t-shirts. Big up Malcolm, going to shout him out there. Delivered one to him earlier the day, he was good crack. Told us I smelt nice, which is always a good compliment, I suppose. And a few other people as well, and drops in and that, all of them who I delivered, I tell you what, it's class. I just thought, you know, it's out and about the day. Obviously, I'm not going to deliver these ones to bloody Canada and Ireland and that, you know, it'll take a while. But, you know, the local ones, I don't mind. I was out and about, went to see a mate in Wallsend and stuff, and up there in Ashington and that, so I thought, you know, I'll deliver some parcels myself. And the reaction from you lot was class when he's answered the door. So I love doing stuff like that. It's great to meet you, because when you see the followers and subscribers and that on here, you don't really realise, but when you meet us in person, I always love doing that. So big up everyone. Thanks again, people who are supporting the merchandise. The MagpieChannel.com. There's not many left, so be quick, get involved. Link is in the description. Okay then, after all them postman duties, I got home and bang, I'm hearing these news of Dominic, Solanke, Big Dom, Dick and Dom in the bungalow. I've been hearing it all. So the Telegraph have reported this in the last half an hour or so, that Newcastle United have made a move for Dominic Solanke. They have inquired to Bournemouth about the England striker. I say England striker, he is English, and he has made one appearance for England back in 2017 against Brazil in what I think was a friendly. But I tell you what, he is on the cusp of a Gareth Southgate call-up, if you believe the reports, because he has been on absolute fire this season. 12 goals for Dominic Solanke in 19 games, only third in the Premier League goal scoring charge this term, behind Erling Haaland. Freak of nature, no one's ever going to catch him, and the Egyptian Mo Salah. So Solanke is having the time of his life, the form of his life. And that's the question. I see a lot of mixed responses to this on social media about us being linked with Solanke. A lot of people actually, more so I would say, are a bit pessimistic about it, or a bit, oh, why we're signing him for when he's only had one good season, he's just in a good run of form, and we know what he's done previously, he's flopped, you know, because he has carried this thing about, and it is going to take longer than a good 6 months to get this off his shoulders. To get this weight off his shoulders of being a flop, it's going to take longer than double digits for Bournemouth. And he's got to carry this on, by the way. We're only in January, so he's not even having a good full season, really. He's been unbelievable in the Championship. We don't want another Dwight Gale. We don't want a Championship striker who's unbelievable, finishes everything in the Championship, and then gets to the Premiership and can't hit the barn door. Although, like I said, Gale, he did have the odd good run and stuff like that, but he didn't quite cut it. Even though, for me, on a game-to-game basis, he was a pretty good finisher, I'll give him that. But I tell you what, where we are and where we're going, I think people would be underwhelmed, and they clearly are if you read Twitter and everything else, about the potential signing of Solanke. Because that word flop sticks with the bloke. It does, it sticks with him. He went to Liverpool for big money a few years ago. They signed him, big expectations. I think it was 1 goal in 21 games. Flopped. Heavy flop. Big floppy. Didn't do well, is what I'm trying to say, at Liverpool. So before that as well, you know, he's always had this potential. Everyone's always talked about him, the Chelsea youngster. You know what I mean? Big high hopes for this bloke. He's a big bloke as well. That's what I like him about him. You know, he's tall, he's a presence, but he's still mobile. He is a very good finisher. He can hold up the ball. So he has all those qualities. I just haven't seen it enough. I can't be getting excited about saying someone that's had a good 6 months, because in the past I've seen him play crap. In the past I've seen him miss sitters. Maybe he is now finally fulfilling, or on his way to being able to fulfill that potential. Do you know what I mean? So he's 26 now. He's about to come into his prime. So he's still got 5, 6, 7 brilliant years ahead of him if he can keep up this form that he's currently in. But that is a big if for me. Everyone, you can see loads of strikers have had a good season, or a good 6 months, or a good this, and then they fall into the wilderness, totally disappear, don't get anywhere near those levels again. But Solanke is having a fine run of form this season. Like I said, 12 goals in 19 games, 1 assist. His stats will be on the screen there now. He is doing very well for the Cherries. You know, he scored against us this term. He's looked a real handful. He's looked the real part. Like I said, he's on the verge of an England call-up. And to be honest, when you look around the leagues, yes, he is the 3rd highest scorer in the Prem this season, but Arsenal are linked with him, because Ivan Toney stayed until at least next summer at Brentford. He's came out and said that that's done. Chelsea are even linked to going back in with him because of how bad Jackson's been. You know, Man United have been linked with him because Højlund hasn't hit the ground running. So a lot of teams are eyeing up Solanke, because it's really hard when you look at the striker market now. There's no one there that massively stands out. There really isn't. There's no one there where there's loads of options. And when you look at him, England, age still on his side, firing them in for a bottom half team, that's going to raise eyebrows and people are going to think, oh, you know, this may take a punt on him. This being the issue though, it's not just a punt. This isn't a cheap buy. Solanke will cost big money. He really will. Bournemouth paid £19 million for him a few years ago. And now that he's firing them in the Premier League, that's going to easily double in today's market as well. After a mad few years of exponential growth of transfer fees and wages, it's now going to be, I would say, at least 50. I would say Bournemouth will want 45, 50 minimum for Dominic Solanke, which you think is mad, but then again, a lot of people questioned our January move for Anthony Gordon last year, because his stats weren't great. He never had a long run of a great spell, did he? But it was potential, so that's why it kind of fits the bill, and that's why I could honestly see Newcastle doing this. There's question marks over financial fair play, of course there is, but in this one, if you sell one or two players, this might be the one, because Eddie Howe, according to the Telegraph, that's what he wants the most now. Maybe that Calvin Phillips can get that loan deal done, but in terms of a position, he's really sick and tired of our forwards being injured. You know, your Wilsons, your Isaacs, they're becoming a bit unreliable. Obviously, especially more so Wilson, he's been at that for years, and he isn't getting any younger. So Eddie Howe wants to bolster his side, he wants to bolster the attack, and Solanke seems to be that man that he is currently eyeing up. Let's not forget that Eddie Howe was the man that signed Dominic Solanke for Bournemouth, so he's always liked him, he's always rated him, he's always valued him. They've worked together in the past, and you know, you had Bruno Guimaraes coming out today and saying Eddie Howe's improved him, he's improved the team, that's what he does. Eddie Howe fancies his chances of doing that again. If he can turn Joe Linton into what he's done, Jacob Murphy, the list goes on, he could do it with Solanke. Surely, that's what they're hoping, that's what they're saying, that's what the rumours are. Problem is, Bournemouth have given a big fat no, mate. Slap in the face, not selling. That's what they are saying. They are saying they're not interested in selling Solanke this window. Apparently, there could be open offers next summer where they can probably drive the bargain up again, drive the price up, going to be no bargain, drive the price up again next summer if he continues on this great run of form, add another 5-10 million to that if he does it for another few months, and then that gives them more time in the summer to replace their star man. However, I don't believe that. I think if you went in with a big enough offer, Bournemouth would crumble and they would sell this January. It just depends if we're going to go in with that offer if we can do it this window. What Bournemouth really going to be holding out for, apart from what I've just said there, they're having a good season now under their new manager after a slow start, but where they're going to really go, what's the highest Bournemouth, did they fancy maybe an outside chance of Conference League? I mean, who knows, Bournemouth can be a really good side on their day, so I think it's more so the fact that if they sold Solanke now, they're not going to be able to replace him in the next 2 and a bit weeks. So that's the issue. But I think if Eddie Howe spoke to Solanke, maybe on the sly, maybe not, do it officially, whatever you want, bit tapping up, yeah, straight on the old WhatsApp, Eddie to Dominic. So I think if he told them, listen, we're interested, look at the two, no disrespect to Bournemouth, 100 times bigger club, bigger ambitions, everything else, just played in the Champions League, compared to their little old Vitality Stadium, and that sounds like I'm being disrespectful, which it kind of is. But I like Bournemouth, but not being funny, if you've got a choice between Bournemouth and Newcastle, you're choosing Newcastle. So realistically, if we went to Solanke, we told him the plan, Eddie Howe told him how much he wanted him, which you'll know already since he signed him in the past, and then the money was there for Bournemouth, he leaves this January and he signs. Will it happen? Oh, I'm not sure, because at the minute if we're hearing all these things of FFP and we somehow pluck 40, 50, 60 million for Solanke, I'd be surprised. Then again, it would be history rewriting itself. Like I said, just like January, we've got no money to spend, we can't spend a penny, we're skint. 40 million on Anthony Gordon, out of nowhere. So, who knows with this club, who knows with Ashworth and Staveley and the rest of them, that they may just go, Eddie really wants him, we see a bit of potential there, our strikers are always injured, get him in. So, those are the rumours today. Dominic Solanke to the 2, Newcastle have made an inquiry, Bournemouth have been quickly to rebuff that. They don't want to sell him this January, but would they be tempted if that money was offered on the table right there and then? I think they would. Personally, my thoughts on Solanke, I'm very much sitting on the fence, and you know that's unlike me. I'm not a fence sitter. I'm always 100% down the lane, tell you how it is. But honestly, I'll tell you how it is right now. I'm telling you I'm 50-50. Honestly, I am. I think on one hand, it could be a very good signing. Like I said, he's only 26, English, he's very tall, mobile, good finisher, he's a presence in the box, can use his head, his feet, both of them, so it sounds great, but I'm not convinced. The reason I'm 50-50 is because of the the sample size. We've seen him do, like I said, Championship, everything great, but I've seen him in the past in the Premier League, poor. But then again, a lot of players have turned things around for themselves. Like, look at Salah in the Premier League at Chelsea, terrible. Liverpool, one of the best ever. So if Solanke can continue this run of form, keep growing, learn under Eddie Howe and Tyndall and the rest of them, then that could really turn him into a star. It really could. But I'm a bit worried because I'm thinking I haven't seen enough. I can't be excited too much or judge someone on 6 months. I like him, and I think he is a handful. He is a threat. He can be a goal scorer, but I'm not just sure if he's that consistent enough, and the money it would take to get him, if he would be worth it. If he could really produce those goods week in, week out, long term. Is he an example that we desperately need? Because for me, I'd rather go for a Victor Boniface, a younger striker in the Bundesliga, banging them in, international as well. Someone like that, I think, would suit for me. But obviously, Eddie, he keeps on looking at these players, likes of Gordon and that, and Solanke. He likes these Premier League players at the same time. Your Darren Burns and Trippier, who's been there and done it, you know. So Nick Pope, it goes on and on. So I think he prefers that over these risks. Obviously, Isaac is an example, Bruno and stuff. But overall, I think Eddie likes what he knows, and I think he likes Solanke, clearly, signed him in the past. So, I don't know. Those are the reasons why I am 50-50. But if we're signing him, of course, back him. I just think for the money, could we get someone else? Is there something better out there? I mean, at the minute, no. At the minute, no. He's the third best in the Premier League for goals. But at the same time, like I said, I want to see that a couple of seasons at least, not just 6 months. But I'm sure the people behind the scenes at Newcastle United should know more than this daft old YouTuber, shouldn't they? But I want to know what you say, you dafties, in the comments. What you thinking about Solanke? Would you sign him? Yes or no? Let me know. Subscribe to my channel TV and enjoy yourself.